Hey, it's Nick here at SBC in Lisbon. I have Frederick Niehusen with me from Booming Games. Good to have you.
Thanks for having me.
Cool, mate. Working away, have you acquired any new licenses this year?
We have indeed. We're very proud. Started off the year with entering Brazil. Doesn't necessarily require a license as a B2B, but as you might have followed,
There
that
was a
was
framework before for getting people who were ready in
exactly
mind.
everybody had to be ready from January on. It's a very attractive and big market, and yeah, we got ready on time. We had all our top games ready for all our operators, and have been expanding
Cool.
since.
When your
Which
operators come in with you, how do you help support them in the new environment, new terrain?
Well, there was a lot of pressure from all sides because the operators needed to have a certain amount of games and a certain amount of top games from all their providers ready, certified on their platform as of the 1st of January. So there was a lot of pressure because obviously they didn't want to lose out on the content they were offering to their players. Yeah, it was quite a tight time. We're proud to say that we were ready on time and available with our top games, and our operators didn't have to remove anything the players were used to. And yeah, have been expanding since in the market. It's a lot of things happening there, a lot of new licensees, which is very interesting. Which was followed just shortly after Denmark. We also received our Danish license. There was also a change in regulation in Denmark that now requires B2B suppliers to have a license. We were already active in the market before, but now we hold our license and can also proudly say in that market that we
Safe.
stayed into the market. We further increased our standards with being licensed. And yeah, just recently now we obtained the Greek license. We should be going live very soon there with the first client in Greece, which is also a very exciting market for us, obviously. So this year has been a lot about entering new markets. Just before the end of last year, we also went live in South Africa, which is yeah, very attractive and growing market. We've been putting a lot of effort into. And also have been expanding in this year a lot with a lot of new partners, a lot of marketing campaigns, a lot of push from our side. So yeah, we're very excited of what we've achieved in
Great.
terms of
That's a lot of localization, a lot of adapting games for different
yes,
markets, right?
yes, it's a lot of challenging your product from localization perspective. It's establishing new relationships with new partners in that region. It's also investing into that region, traveling there, meeting the people, going to conferences there. Um, but yeah, it's paying off. It's highly interesting,
It's
and
great.
we're following that approach.
Have you noticed that any games are performing better or are more in demand in different territories? Say, for example, in Brazil.
Well, yeah, Brazil is very heavily dominated by a couple of games which follow a specific mechanic and style. In general, from our portfolio, we can say that our top games usually are the games which are top globally. There are some specifics in
True.
certain markets where you would say, I don't know, from the top 10, the top 5, 6 are the same, which would you have what you would have on a global level, and then there are 3, 4 which are a little bit more specific. But we tend to see that, yeah, very much the games performing well in a certain market usually also are among the top games, at least in the other markets.
Cool. And in your top 10, do all the games have a very similar game mechanic, or is there a bit of variety?
No, we have quite a variety. I mean, with a very global approach, it's obviously also key to constantly come up with different mechanics and different features and different themes and styles. Player tastes are different, not only between markets but also within markets. You also want to constantly deliver something new, interesting, different to your competitors and to your games which you already have. So no, it's not always the same. Of course, some proven mechanics and features tend to work over and over again. I don't think this is a secret in the industry, but we do a nice healthy mix of both.
Great. And I guess as for the future, what's your roadmap like for 2026 and beyond?
Well, we're very excited about 2026 already. I think we're almost ready with speccing all of that for next year. So we know what's coming. What I can say is there are going to be a lot more games we're producing. So that's exciting for us and for our clients. Increasing the amount of games we're releasing also allows us to be even more flexible when it comes to localization, as you mentioned, which is an important factor, which also allows us to diversify more. Yeah, you'll be seeing a lot more games. You will be seeing further games of game series which we have developed over the years. So we have a Fish Tales series, for example. You're going to have additional games in that series and others. And of course, we will also be around for a couple of surprises, which I will keep as a secret for
Sure.
now. But from that aspect, next year is all out.
Great. So you have, I guess, taken over Greece, Denmark, South Africa, Brazil, new territories
What's
for
next?
2026.
Yeah. Well, there's not that much left, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But we're obviously keen to be available with our content in all regulated markets around the globe. We are tackling next Switzerland, Bulgaria, Argentina. We're looking into the Czech Republic, Croatia, maybe the Balkans, etc. So there's still some things for us to tackle and some things left. What we will close in the course of the next year and the following latest, because that's our target. We want to be available in all regulated markets constantly. There are also some developments, obviously, while we go along. Markets are becoming regulated, which we currently don't have on our radar. So there are discussions, obviously, about New Zealand, as you might have followed, and Finland, etc., which we will follow, and we will be ready once the market regulates. And
without undoing, I guess, all the work you've done in having like a first mover advantage, could you describe certain pitfalls, perhaps that you didn't expect? Maybe going into South Africa, when going into Brazil, that might stop other people from making the same mistake.
Well, I mean, I must say, even with so many markets we already have, there's always some surprise around the corner when you enter a new market. You think you know it all, you've seen it all, but then there's this additional new process. So you need to have a specific document which you were not aware of in the beginning, which slows down the process. In general, in some of these markets, the time to get a game live is quite lengthy.
Sure.
So that is something which, for other suppliers, you need to always keep in mind. If you're ready by yourself, doesn't mean that you can launch the next day. There are a lot of processes required from the operators, from the regulator, from the certification labs, etc., which are time consuming and delay the market entry of new games. And that's sometimes, a challenge, because if you have something successful, which is ready, which is live,
you want it out there.
You want it out there.
Yeah.
So you're going to try and have to time that all at the same time. That ideally they go live globally at the same time, which is quite a challenge. But that's what we're after.
How do you simplify it for your operators? Like I said, this all sounds that all these pieces are quite complicated, but how do you make it easy for an operator to bring booming games onto their site? And
for example, by trying to have the game globally ready and available all at the same date, which is not always possible for every single market. But if you are an operator which is operating internationally, so in various different markets, you're planning campaigns, marketing material, the game release itself via the platform. Ideally, you want to have that game to launch across all your markets, and not, I don't know, today in market A and then 6 weeks later in market B. So these are a couple of things you can do by managing yourself internally from an operational perspective to be ready and just have everything lined up for the clients to make it as easy as possible. With the amount of games going live on a daily basis, it has to be as easy as, I can find all the information in one place with all the dates all ready for the game to go live.
Cool.
So that's what we do in order to make life for our operators easy.
Booming, brilliant, Frederick.
Yeah.
Thanks for being with us with
Yeah.
Focus Gaming News. Nicholas signing off from SBC.